Hello YouTubes, I'm just doing an update for my Autobomber here. Made a few different changes here, mostly to get more defenses. I've changed out my weapon as well as the tree a little bit, and got a bit more spirit to run some more auras, a few other upgrades. But here's my Raven kill to get my last few points. And here is a 200% deli map. So I swapped out one of the Brutus lead sprinklers for a hammer that gives you shrine buffs. Damage wise, there wasn't a huge difference. Of course, you're going to be losing a lot of flat damage, fire damage, and you're going to be losing the molten shower for the second one. But you do get two shrine buffs that can give you a little bit of defenses in the form of the enduring one or critical, and there's a few other that are nice. But in general, it does feel quite nice to have the shrine buffs up. So I made that switch there. I do recommend that because the damage was pretty unnecessary unless you're doing extremely extremely difficult content. Even at 200% deli, it's more than enough damage. You can't really make the tornadoes move faster, so you're bottlenecked by that. So unlike a mirror build like Spark or something, you're not going to be able to go and kill things any faster than this. So yeah, I deleted some damage to get some more defenses. And I also am running a few different auras to make up for it. So I'm running Herald of Ash, Time in Need, and also Berserk. So the combination of Time in Need and Berserk does make up for the damage loss. I don't know the exact difference between the two swaps, but it feels quite similar in damage. And Herald of Ash, I don't think it actually does any damage, but it does provide a lot of ignites, which gives a lot better uptime for Ancestral Cry, which is quite nice. But yeah, this is how mapping looks like. It feels quite good. So I dropped one of the Brutus lead sprinklers for Hammer of Faith. Gives me a shroud buff for 20 seconds every 10 seconds. So in mapping, I have two shrine buffs up, and there are quite a few different useful buffs that you can get. So you can have any shrine buff that is not a offensive one. So up until here, you can't have any of those. So you can still get the acceleration, divine, seeking, massive, replenishing, enlightening, resistance, or diamond. Yeah, you can still get diamond. So that is a damage buff also. This is a nice movement speed. This is nice if you want to run in for something. The rarity is nice. Basically, all the buffs are pretty good. The only one that's kind of useless is the replenishing. Otherwise, it is a kind of nice little defensive. And then I also changed out the Crown of Eyes because I dropped Blossoming. So instead of having the double socket, I went for a 32 Spirit so that I can run all my auras. So currently I'm doing Berserk, Time of Need, Wind Dancer, Ghost Dance, and Herald of Ash. I change out all of these basically just to focus on more defenses, get a little bit better clear, and yeah, just overall it seems like a pretty good package. If you do use Berserk, you also need Time of Need because you degen your life. So you need a source of regen. You can also get it as a rune. but I think Berserk is probably the easiest way, or Time of Need is the easiest way. They go well in combo. Next is Wind Dancer and Ghost Dance. So I managed to get a Mage Blood. So since I have Legacy of Jade on that, it does make a pretty good combo together with Wind Dancer and Ghost Dance, because it gives me in total 9,000 evasion. So that is a nice little recovery boost, as well as just general evasion and defenses. Lastly is Herald of Ash. In general, it just gives a little bit better clear. It looks cool, and it keeps Ancestral Cry up a little bit better. But if you're going to drop anything here, I would drop Herald of Ash. This Brutus Lead Sprinkler is still the same. I'm using the Spirit one on here, as well as you can runecraft this for fire damage instead of physical. I just can't be fucked. I also upgraded the Astromentus a little bit just to have a better roll. And then I got a bunch of rarity on my ring. So rarity, evasion, rarity, accuracy. Accuracy can swap out for life as well. Leech, strength, and more rarity. So just as much rarity as possible, because there's not much else, many other places that you can get rarity on this build. I'm also getting a little bit here, as I did in the last video. This one is the same. I got a little bit more rarity on the original Sin instead of strength. This is still the same. As for the Mage Blood, I bought a Mage Blood and I just rolled until I found something cool. It's probably cheaper to just buy the combination that you want. But I was trying to get Jade, Stibinet, Quicksilver, and Bismuth. Just so that I can balance my res a little bit better. But I'm pretty happy with this. Double Quicksilver, Bismuth, and Jade. And then I upgraded my boots just for better ES. And that's the gear upgrades. Next up is the tree. The only difference for the tree is I grabbed this skill effect wheel because I leveled another 2 times. And I dropped Whispers of Doom because I no longer need that. And yeah, that's basically it. No other big changes here. Lastly is future upgrades. Honestly, I don't know what else I can really upgrade here. So if anybody has any ideas, I'd love to hear. The only things that I could really think of is getting more sockets on the helmet, the body, and the gloves, which is kind of okay, I guess, but really you can only put strength here. Maybe you can get some more runes in this one, iron runes in this one, or more strength, and then just more strength here. So it's not really a huge upgrade. Otherwise, you can upgrade the boots. But yeah, there's not really much left to upgrade here. I can get a level 20 version of this, and then I can rune craft it. But damage wise, that doesn't do that much. Yeah, so I'm kind of out of ideas for this build. Yeah, if anybody has any ideas on how I can further push defenses or damage, I'd love to hear. But yeah, that's the build update. Nothing really crazy going on here, but definitely a fun build. It can handle 200% deli, simulacrums, not a big deal. I can stand in mobs and everything seems to be good. I have died a few times just because body blocks. But yeah, the only thing you can do for that is the get blink. I did play with that a little bit, and it is nice to get around body blocks. But I prefer my current setup for these. Yeah, that's basically it.